Welcome to In 5 Minutes. In this video, we are going to talk about various memory characteristics and the trade-offs present in the memory parameters. The first characteristics we are going to look at is the storage capacity of a memory. Storage capacity is nothing but the memory size expressed in bytes or words. When we say a computer has a 4 GB RAM, that means the 4 gigabytes is the storage capacity of that particular memory. So the storage capacity of the memory is very important parameter as it decides the address space of that particular memory. Next parameter or characteristic is the unit of transfer. Unit of transfer is the number of bits transferred in one memory access. So depending on whether memory transfer a byte at a time, that is 8 bits, or 16 bits or 32 bits, the unit of transfer is decided. Now we are going to look at the timing characteristics of memories, or the characteristics which affect the speed of the memory operations. The first characteristic is access time. The access time of the memory is nothing but the time required by the memory after request is made for the operation to start that particular operation. For example, while reading the data, when the read request is given to the memory, the time between the read request and the first data placed on the data memory by fetching that particular data is nothing but the access time of the memory. The second parameter, timing parameter, is cycle time. The cycle time is defined as the minimum time period between two consecutive read operations. So basically, it defines the average time taken by the memory read operations. The another way of measuring the speed of the memory is the data transfer rate. It is nothing but the data transferred in unit time expressed in bits per second. So again, this characteristic is also used in various communication terminologies. But the data transfer rate with the memory is associated with the transfer of data between the memory and the processor. Now let's talk about some physical characteristics of memories. For example, we have two types of memories, that is volatile and non-volatile memory. It depends on the physical property of the material used. So generally, the information in the memory is lost after a certain time period if it is not refreshed. For example, in dynamic RAM arrays, the information is stored as a charge in capacitor. The bit 1 is stored as a charge in capacitor, and over time the capacitor discharges through leakage currents, and the 1 bit is changed to the 0. So in this way, the information in the memory can be lost after a certain amount of time period. That is why we need refreshing mechanisms for volatile memories. And we also require the power source for the volatile memories. Now the another type is nothing but the permanent storage of the memories, such as ROM arrays. They are basically non-volatile and they do not lose information even if the power source is cut off. So now we have seen the various characteristics of memories, and now let's talk about a few important trade-offs in the memory parameters, which are very important while designing and organizing the memory. The first trade-off is the capacity and access time trade-off. When we try to increase the capacities, the storage capacity of the memory, the access time also goes on increasing. Now the reason behind this trade-off is that when we increase the capacity, the address space also goes on increasing, and the address search that the memory need to perform while fetching the particular address is also larger. This is why this trade-off exists. The second trade-off is between the access time and the cost per bit. When we try to reduce the access time of the memory, the cost per bit increases. So basically, the speed and the cost is also another trade-off. While reducing access time, we can have the memories in the higher level of hierarchy, such as CPU registers or cache memories. But the cost of such memories is much higher than the secondary memories. So If we try to reduce the access time or increase the speed of the memories, the cost is going to increase. The third trade-off is the capacity and cost per bit. Now, this is not a typically a trade-off. It is another relationship, and which is actually desirable because as we go down the hierarchy, we have seen that capacity of the memory increases, and the cost per bit also decreases. So, while using these relationships, we can design a memory which is suitable for the particular application. That is why the trade-offs are most important to study.